In 2009, a recession hit England saw a 25% rise in recruitment to the British Army. More than half of those recruits were teenagers. As a 21-year-old, I want to understand why people younger than me are joining the military in their droves. But first I want to see the new initiatives the Army has employed so successfully to attract young people.
I mean, there was a lot of water. The junior entry day is all about informing interested young people about what career opportunities exist in the Army today.
What would be the average sort of age of the person you would expect to turn up today?
The youngest would be just over 15, and we could be taking somebody or getting somebody interested now at 16. The upper limit for entry is 17 years and 1 month old. We could be accused, perhaps a strong word, of only going around the less well-off areas and seeking to go to underprivileged schools. We have been accused of that. Our view is that we should and do appeal right across the spectrum.
Moving down, this is our YouTube thing. It's a large YouTube telly which we can permanently download YouTube clips.
Right.
And then when they click on here, so for example, the last 2 months there's been 37 over the summer period, 37 soldiers killed in Afghanistan.
So you were actually showing the
we'll show anything they want to look at on here, you know. If we've got a clip of it, we'll show
coming back, coughing to flags, you'd show. That's interesting, because people say that you often trying to hide the negatives, or
the reality of war is people get killed. Innocent people, soldiers on both sides, women, children, it happens. You know, and that is the bottom line. So when the careers go wrong, when it comes to it and it all goes wrong, that's what happens. So we show that. That's part of the Army. That's part of our job.
How come it isn't turned on now?
Because it's sucking the world's broadband width off the planet at the moment, and they've told us we've got to reduce the amount of width we're doing. So in other words, it's broken.
Oh, okay.
So we've got to tame down our YouTube clips.
So the doom and gloom's broken for the moment, but
it's broken. All right. This side we've got a rolling map on here. We can show them where we do the operations at the moment. Yeah, they just touch on there, and it will tell them where in the world we have defence attaches. And it's sometimes great fun to say, do you know where England is on the map? And a lot of the kids can't show us Afghanistan. A lot of the kids cannot point to England on the map.
That's surprising.
Yes, it's surprising.
Right.
And on these, that you can become an individual, or you can do it as a team. And they're actual real methods of training a team. For example, you're a team and you've got colour bands on. Is this a game? Yeah, it can be construed as a game, I suppose. That is exactly what a soldier in Iraq or Afghanistan will look like before he goes on patrol.
Will it let me kill him?
Yeah. If you shoot a soldier, you put a weapon at anybody, you pull the trigger, that is what will happen.
I've just killed someone.
Yeah. This part is quite good. It's like a mini range. We have a replica SA-80, which is the British Army rifle, and it weighs the same weight as the real thing. In fact, it looks absolutely identical. You know, we don't want to be firing at targets on here or anything like that.
Right. Bouncing
balls, gophers, and other things like that, we can fire it on here. Bit of an action.
This is surprisingly fun.
That's what we have. That's what we do.
Can we get a demonstration from you?
Yeah. I'll change this. That's a very boring game, I find.
Okay. So there's multiple games?
Yeah, there's multiple games.
I have heard from the recruitment staff that the Army have really made a push over the last 2 years to engage with young people through technology. But I have my concerns that the gadgets are only showing a glamorised view of war. So I went to speak to the Army's head of recruitment policy.
There is a certain amount of attraction that we have to do with individuals to start with, to show them, to get them excited by what the opportunities are, etc.
So it's necessary
for
for you
life.
to be quite seductive at the start of it, would you say?
I think we want to try and be as truthful as we can right from the start of the process. Engagement with youth, and when we get on to it, recruiting, is part of a large system, and there are a large number of media that we use to engage with people. It is not a game, and the person that portrays this as a game at any stage has got it fundamentally wrong.
The next step on my journey is to actually talk to some young people who are joining the army, and to find out what the motivation is behind their choice. So I'm off to the Military Preparation College, who have agreed to let me spend a fortnight with them.
Eyes, front one! Ready with left and left, 1, 2, 3, 1.
The Military Preparation College takes people from the ages of 16 to 18. It is tasked to bringing students up to the physical and academic requirements of the army.
Yeah, so we'll go around and make sure we've got all the correct kit and equipment. It's all irons.
Yeah.
The guys make sure they're shaved, nice short hair, make sure the female's got a hairnet in, and then they'll come onto the kit on the floors. Basically their towel, shower gel, spare underwear, shorts, t-shirt, just to make sure they've got it all for the PT session.
You will come to this little embankment. You will go down onto your back, onto your front, and a quick couple of push-ups. Oh, we understood? Yes. Bicycles. Wait. I did not say that, did I? You jump. I said you're climbing. Lower, lower, lower. I've got some there.
Shut your fucking mouth. And when you finish, you should be jumping on the
glass of the face. I love you, King. What did you say? Can't do this. So
Lower. You need to actually bend your arms. There we go. Perfect.
everyone jog.
That's not jogging. Everyone off you go. Off you go. Stop walking. You should be running all the way out and back. Go. Speed it up, Blues. Come on. Grab your face. Make any finishing touches. What are you doing out? You need
Wait, did you see?
Wind your elastic bands around the propeller so that you're ready to attach your pin. Do you need some instructions on how to
Sorry, Carl, you have to wait till tomorrow.
Do you want me to do it, Danny?
No, girls can't do anything.
Look at this, men not reading instructions.
You don't need any instructions.
What a male thing to say. It says here. It says to do and not.
Yeah, but rules are there to be broken, don't worry. Don't worry. You've done everything by the rules, you'd be screwed.
In here. I don't want it to.
Look at that. But if you give it some oomph, that's gone, mate. It's a new fighter jet.
You're missing the tail.
The title of this lesson, Duties of a Sentry.
Have you got a pen?
So if I carry on my lesson?
Sorry.
Just thought I'd better ask. In case you thought you were in charge for a minute.
Get up, you run forward 5 paces, you get back down and crawl into cover.
Go. Fucking run. Bang! Nick, you get fucking left. Get in the space line!
These are the biscuits that give you the shit.
No, the pink ones give you the shits. Them ones give you constipation.
Alright, they stop you having shits. They give you the shits. Either way, you're fucked.
Oh, they
Do you want them ones?
No, because if you eat both,
No, they
it
stop you
evens them
shitting.
out.
You ain't got a fiance.
Show me a picture. Yeah, I'm gonna wear a ring, ain't I?
Mate, jog on, son.
Well, I'm gonna get a fucking call.
How much did you pay her?
Tomorrow.
Mate. How much did you pay her? That's a load of bollocks.
No, it's not.
I don't believe you.
This is your only option. For like me, I didn't get much like from school and shit. I didn't get into college. That's why.
Did you not get into college? What was that? Was GCSEs not that good or what?
Well, that was Basingstoke. I mean, it was Basingstoke. Wankers, they missed me anyway.
My GCSEs, I got F's, U's, G's, E's, a lot.
Make sure that poncho comes off the back.
On the H1 here. When they first start with this, they do
4 assessments on their first day, 2 maths and 2 English, and one of the English ones is called All About Me, and they have to write an essay about where they were born, what school they went to. No kid should get to 16 and not be able to write.
No,
that means
shocking.
they've really been let down somewhere along the system.
Yeah.
Whether it's the parents who aren't supportive, if the parents aren't supportive, the school should be taking steps to be, that support for them and help them. Some of them, you can't even read them, it's just like scroll and nothing's spelt right, and they're just, everything's numbers. So if it's like they're trying to say no one, it's NO1.
Really?
Yeah, well mate is M8, like it is text speak.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What are that? Pen?
No.
That one?
No. Yeah, that's it. So if you just write them in alphabetical order on the next page, and then the last thing you need to do is which one of those fits that picture best. Okay? Cool. There's a lad who has probably got the reading age of 8-year-old.
8-year-old reading.
Really poor. Primary school. Not even primary school leaver ability. So what did they do over the loose stones? They weren't squeaky. They didn't squeaky over the loose stones. The tanks tracks.
Friday night?
Bit like hissed, but squeaked. Yeah.
Squeaked. How do you spell nervous?
Nervous.
N-E-R.
Yeah.
V-A-C.
No, nervous. N-E-R-V. Then.
I-C.
No. O-U-S. Nervous. O-U-S, not O-S-E.
So was it N-E-R-V?
O-U-S. Yeah, it kind of really amazed me because I've always been a massive, I read loads and I've always been really into reading and English and all that sort of stuff, and then meeting some of these kids and they just actually writing their name is a struggle for some of them. Right, it's 25 past 10, you have 15 minutes, so at 22, 11, come back in.
What a fucking thing there. Huh?
Is that yours?
See, yes, it is mine. Douchebag.
I have cried a couple of times, and I'm not scared to admit that, because literally I've been bullied in about every single school I've been to.
What's home like?
So I live with my mum at the moment.
Yeah.
My dad doesn't live with us anymore.
Is he that?
Yeah. Well, they were never actually married. Right, and they're my adopted parents. Yeah, so I mean, I'll get on with people better in the army, because when you start somewhere that's new, then you got a new chance. When people don't know you, you have a new chance. You have a good chance of making friends. You go straight in there with a brand new attitude, and you're you know what, these guys don't know me. Let's try and be cool. Literally everybody who goes to college has nothing else to do in their lives. They can't get a job. They've been either kicked out of school, finished school, and they need something to do that would give them education and use up basically their spare time. And everyone in the army is to that standard, that fitness, that mental fitness, that they're not going to bother. Should there be banter, but there's never going to be bullying when you're in the army.
Face front. That's you too, Mr. Robert. Robert. Face the front, I tell you. Face the front, Mr. Robert.
That's one thing you learn in the army, nothing's wrong.
Who was that, Evan?
Some woman I know from years ago when I was a little shit.
From where?
From when I was just younger.
Did you used to play her up a lot?
Huh?
You used to play her up a lot?
No, she just did what I was like. Because I used to hang around with where she lives. She lives with my mate's parents, and now he's on tag and shit.
What's tag?
He goes around the leg, and you have to go in at 7 o'clock every night, and if you're not in, you go straight to prison.
Oh, right, perfect.
Yeah. And I try to get him to sort of just love robbing stuff or doing drugs. And then he quit smoking weed and coke and stuff and started being an alcoholic. It's only my age.
Evans, are you proud of yourself?
Not yet. Will be when I get in. But until I've actually done it, then I will. Yeah, it's on the wrong way.
How you doing? We're from the Royal Marines, as you can tell. We're coming down today just to give you a bit of an insight really into who we are, what we do for a living, okay, and how we go about our business. To be honest with you, it's just like one big boys club. All we do is go out on the piss together, go on holiday together and go have a laugh. The war fighting side of it is a very small part. I mean, I've been in 5 years now, and I've been away for 7 months. All the other times I've spent on the piss. I'm literally about to open up now. All right.
How difficult are the shooting requirements? Guessing that comes from you, Spec.
It was that one in the middle. Can you see him right from that? Okay, what we're going to do now, alright, is go for a brief sort of introduction into rope climbing, and then to be able to hold yourself on the rope without using your hands. Using the technique, keep the noise down please, using the technique that we're about to show you, alright, and if you have confidence, okay, you hold yourself there. If you don't, you wimp out, you'll fall to the floor.
Jump up, mate.
Right, get about as hard, right, get as halfway, right, as high as you can. You let go of everything, so you're just hanging. Then, you put your right leg around, like that, do that first. Then you'll stand with your left leg on it. Alright? That's it, keep going. Keep going, a little bit more, mate, a little bit more. One more, there you go. Right, okay, let your legs hang. Put your right leg around. There you go, stand on it with your left foot. Okay, there you go, stand up if you can, as high as you can, and bring your left hand down to your waist. Hold the rope at your waist, but your right arm's going to go through. There you go. Now, pull your arms back as hard as you can, both of them, and let go. Let go your left up. There you go. See? Brilliant.
And who else can stack it? Fucking amazing. That was brilliant fun.
Well done.
It was like you were going to stack it.
I thought you were going to, when you went up there, I thought you were going to fall.
What do you have to do? Hold them in one, put your legs up here.
I'm starting to understand why young people join the army. But increasingly, the important question seems to be, are people like Evans mature enough to make such a big decision?
I think you either take a conspiratorial view of all of this, which I don't.
No.
Or you do take a conspiratorial view, and therefore everything to do with this is bad and wrong because there's something wrong per se with service in uniform. I don't take that view. And I think the Army, the Navy and the Air Force are entitled, as long as it's done properly and with due respect for the age of the potential recruit, take into account their family circumstances and so on. There's nothing wrong with recruiting 16, 17-year-olds into the services of the armed forces. Absolutely nothing at all. If you go and talk to some of those young boys and girls who do join the military from those communities, most of them have a fantastic time in the military and get a skill and qualification and something that will change their life in a positive way for good. So for those of us who don't have a military background, and I probably suspect you might not, I think there's a tendency to jump usually to the wrong conclusion about army recruiting. And I think people should avoid hasty conclusions about that. This is a good career, good job, and a fantastic branch of the public services in our country. And as I say, my basic view is that we should support them, not laugh at them.
So would you be happy to have one of your children or close family to join?
Of course, I'd be delighted, yeah. All right?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
I'm still unsure whether all the young people I have met are really aware of what they are committing to. So I want the final word in this matter to be left to a young person and the people who know him best. His friends.
Like the army's not all good. Like it's like a 9 to 5.
There's a lot of work behind it.
But like a normal 9 to 5 job. No job is good. Every day you're gonna have a shit day.
But personally, can I say something quick? Personally, sometimes I think the way you talk about it, like you sit there and like, I'll do this in the army, I'll do that in the army. Sometimes I think you brag it hard.
Nah.
I do. Sometimes I'm being honest.
Do you two think he knows what he's really getting in for?
No. Yeah. No. Of course I know. I know for a fact what he's doing. Yeah. I'm not being harsh. I'm not being harsh one little bit. Sometimes I think that you think right, fucking. I'm getting in the army, yeah, and like I'm doing this with my life, and look at you, little cunt, yeah, like.
No, not at all.
And I think sometimes, right, in front of people, you brag it hard.
No. The other day he was sat in all his army gear and that, and he was just having a ball. But I just think if it was in Iraq or something, yeah, he ain't coming back with that attitude at all.
Yeah, of course.
Not at all. He's going to be shaky, yeah, and he's going to think, why did I even do this? Because it's one thing training, but when you've got bullets flying at you, that's a different matter.
Yeah, fair enough. People sit there, yeah, and they watch war on the TV. They sit there and play war games, but it's nothing like real life, really, is it? How many times do you die playing Call of Duty? You die about 10 times before you complete that mission. So think about one person, they're only going to live once, aren't they?
Like, I choose, like, to go in the army, I choose to die. Like, I'm not going to say I'm not going to die because like, I don't think I'm going to die, but if I die, then it's my time to die. I'm not scared of dying.